Can you hear me now? 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 Think you can hear me. That's actually the mic on the camera. So how well can you guys hear me is the question, because I don't know why it wasn't picking up the studio mic. It's not even seeing the studio mic anymore at this point. So, which is weird because I know it's working because my headset's plugged into that and I heard the intro go off. All right. Okay. It's just been a day. It's been a day. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on. I hope everybody had a fantastic. All right, War Dog, can you really not hear me? We just went through this. We really just went through this. Hold on. Check, 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 check. How's that? Okay, how's that? All right. Hey, Kelly, look who woke up. Hi. Thanks for joining us. I am so glad that I can actually be your cure for insomnia. Or I don't know. Well, actually, don't fall asleep while you're here. That's all I ask. Don't fall asleep while you're here. Okay, thanks, Kelly. Yeah, I don't know what happened to this mic. I'm gonna have to look into that after the show is over. That is so that's so weird because it looks like it's plugged into everything. I feel like it's plugged into everything. Maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. See, my problem is now I get obsessed when things don't work. I get like completely obsessed with why isn't this working? And then I get all pissed off. But I mean, all right, I'll play with it later, guys, because I know y'all would rather. You guys don't want to see me. I'm out of sync. Am I out of sync for everybody else too? Because I seriously don't know why this mic isn't working. All right. I just heard it go off in my ear. Like there's a little clicky click that it makes. So, but it's still not getting captured. It's still not showing up on the. All right. All right, you know what? I can't play with this anymore. I don't want to waste any more time with you guys. It's just been weird, but you know what? Maybe that's the reason that you guys didn't hear me last week. Because the mic was there, but it wasn't. So we're gonna rely on this fabulous camera that David Gregory got me and my fabulous new headphones that Nancy C got me. Thank you so much, Nancy. War Dog, unfortunately, as you can see, the background's dipping a little bit. It's because your gift has not gotten here yet. The last thing that I that wasn't on my wish list is the frame to drape my to hopefully drape my background better. So that will hopefully be here soon, War Dog. I can't see it on my Amazon, so I don't know when it's going to get here. But all right. So as you can all see, I got this very cool shirt. Property of NX-01 Enterprise, because StarTrek.com finally got around to putting some decent stuff online to buy, and I got the matching sweat jacket. No, honey, I think it's no. Mm-mm. If you're using Windows at all, they can have updates. No, but thank you. I don't think that's what it is. Oh, cool. All right. So 31st. I'll have it for next week. Yay, start the new year off with a new background. Thank you. You can get it at StarTrek.com in the shop. They were out of the right size of the sweat jacket. And I honestly, as you can see, I've already been wearing it. I didn't want to wait. So this is actually a size bigger than I wanted, but that's actually okay because it's just kind of their sizes run weird. Their sizes run weird, but look, it's so cute. They match. I love it. I love it. That was my big Star Trek gift. All right, so let's backtrack because I'm going to talk about everybody else's gifts after I talk about obviously Prodigy and how cool Prodigy was. It was the first part of the season finale. The season finale looks like it's going to be incredible. I can't wait. Bonnie Gordon, the fantastic actress that is the voice of the computer on the show, she is now actually she actually got to interact. They gave her a character who was a Voyager Legacy character who interacted with Janeway in this past week's Prodigy. So that was incredible. I don't want to spoil it too much, I guess, because I know that there's some people out there that didn't watch it. But it is a cliffhanger, and I have no idea how this is going to end. I love it. Can't for the life of me figure out how the hell this is going to end. So it's really going to be really, really interesting. But there's some things that I feel like, because the last time I talked about it, there were spoilers, and people were like, oh my God, spoilers. So I'm just going to leave it, even though technically, as we all know, my rule is after 70, between 48 and 72 hours after that, I don't consider it a spoiler, but that was so good. And I think for what it was, I'm just not going to go into it. But there were stories of redemption, which was nice. It's always nice to see a redemption story. And I think that that's a good lesson for anybody to learn, that people can redeem themselves and people can change, even if it is, kind of a last minute decision. So I'm excited for Prodigy. I'm excited they won an Emmy. I'm excited that they're going to be back. I'm excited that I love this red, by the way. I love the red cord. Yeah, so I'm really excited for Prodigy. So, all right. I don't think we're going to be hearing from the Shuttle Pod show tonight, just because I know that they're still on vacation out in the frigid Northeast. So we're going to go talk about, oh, hold on. I have a love-hate relationship with cliffhangers and shows. I like twists and turns, but waiting around. Yes, I completely agree with you, especially, but at least this cliffhanger is only a week. Remember when Next Generation would end a season on a cliffhanger and then you'd have to wait the entire summer to find out what it was? Those would drive me crazy. And I know some shows still do that, but I hate the season ending cliffhangers. A season finale cliffhanger, I'm a little cooler with, but I absolutely hear you 100%, Kelly. All right, so Shuttle Pod show. All right. So if you watched it this week, I recognized so many names because it was a Patreon Q&A episode. So it was just Connor and Erica and producer Mark answering your questions. So again, don't forget, membership has its membership. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So they did all their Patreon members got to answer questions. I have a feeling they have more Patreon members than just the 5 people that asked questions. But it was so cool because I recognized so many names. And you guys, if you asked, you got multiple questions answered. I thought that was amazing. And I know that they're going to make this, like they said in the video, they're going to make this a monthly thing. So that is amazing for all of you Patreon members, including myself. I have my own show, so I'm keeping all my questions for myself if I can ever get the guys to come on the show, or next time we're all together in Vegas. So I'm saving all my questions for my show, but you guys asked some really amazing questions. Some real thinkers, and I thought that was great. And I love the fact that a lot of them aren't about Enterprise per se, as much as they're they're about their lives. Can Connor sing? And I'm going to get to that specific karaoke question in a minute. But what I loved was, and this was the correction I was talking about, Connor did preface this by saying, I don't know all the titles to all the episodes. And I know you guys all heard my whole Anthony Montgomery story where I swore I didn't know all the titles to the episodes and then just kept spouting them out while I was standing at his table. Connor got most of them right. To his credit, he listed Singularity as one of his favorites. Or no, not Singularity. Singularity is one of my personal favorites. The other S one, Solimitude. Was it Solimitude? Did he say Solimitude or Singularity? Now I'm wondering which one he said. I think he said Solimitude. No, he did say Solimitude. It had to have been Solimitude because, but Solimitude and Cogenitor, which I still can't really watch too much of because I start yelling at Connor. I start yelling at Trip not to do it. Every time. I know how it's going to turn out. I hate watching. I hate watching it because it starts out so great. Yeah, it was Solimitude. That's what I thought. Okay. So yeah, like I said, Singularity is one of my favorites because that's where Read Alert came from. But Solimitude was amazing, and yeah, it was Solimitude. I thought so. Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, Cogenitor is a fabulous episode. It had a lot to say. I hate that whole, it was going so well, and then Trip just blew it all to pieces. And like I've always said, that is probably the reason for the Prime Directive. But then he started talking about what he meant to be talking about were what a lot of us consider the final episodes of Enterprise if you ignore These Are the Voyages. He was talking about Terra Prime, and he kept saying Terra Nova. And Terra Nova is that season 1 episode with the underground people, where that big mystery of the disappearing colony, and it turns out there was radiation and they all went underground. And I always remember the word for lying that they had was shale. Everything's shale. And Malcolm hurt himself and he became their prisoner for a while. That is Terra Nova. That was in the first season. And I get them confused too, Connor. You meant Terra Prime. The 2 episodes were Terra Prime, were Demons and Terror Prime. And I can't believe we're Demons and Terror Prime. Sorry, my watch buzzed. But I love you anyway, Connor. I get it. I get it. I get episodes confused too. So, but that was the big correction. And I'm surprised that nobody else on the show caught it. And I'm surprised producer Mark didn't put it up at the bottom and he meant Terror Prime. Because I remember Dominic got something wrong in one of his 4-part things, and Mark put up a little correction at the bottom. But it's okay, Trip. Connor, we love you anyway. Let's see. Great. Oh, questions. Yep. Okay. I said that already. Okay. Back to karaoke. Somebody asked him. I love that. I think it. I'm not sure I've ever said it, but I do think it from time to time. That's shall. So what else? Okay. So somebody asked if they can sing, and producer Mark said that producer Mark thinks he can sing. I think we're all going to have to put that to the test. But Dominic can sing. Like I said, he sung with me a couple of times. When we did We Can Work It Out the first time at karaoke, the one you guys saw last week where we sang the entire theme song together. He snuck in the last time I sang the theme song in Vegas. He's kind of snuck in behind me. He was sitting behind me. I could hear him, but I didn't see him. Dominic actually is a really good singer. Connor said, how did he put it? I love it. He can sell it more than do it. He's not bad. It's so funny. We sang me and Bobby McGee together. The first night when I met them that first year in 2016, we were just like sharing a mic and just wailing into it. So a lot of, oh, there you go, Nancy. I knew you had a lot of questions, Nancy. That was awesome. You had some really good questions. So yeah, in Dominic's defense, he definitely can sing. Connor can wail. Connor was great on me and Bobby McGee. We had so much fun. And you know what? Karaoke isn't about hitting all the notes anyway. Karaoke is about getting up on stage and having so much fun. So much fun. There you go. Shuttle Pud Show album win. I don't know. Maybe in February when we're all in LA, we'll get somebody to record it and we'll make a karaoke / Shuttle Pod Show album. That would be funny. And we'll get Mark and Erica to sing on it. I wish they were here, but they're off enjoying their vacation. That's okay. I just miss them on the after show for them, so I just kind of miss them. I'm going to admit it. Let's see. Okay, and the other thing, and this is so funny. I went to the movies this weekend with my parents, and we were having problems picking the movies because usually around this time of year that we have to fight over what movie we want to see. But this year it was kind of like, I'm like, well, Babylon looked interesting, even though it's 3 hours long. And my mom asked if I wanted to go see Fableman, which is kind of like a pseudo, I guess, semi-autobiographical Steven Spielberg one. And I'm like, I picked Babylon because I was on the fence about Fableman, but I really wanted to see Babylon. I wanted to see Brad Pitt. I love Margot Robbie. It looked really interesting. You don't feel like you're in the theater for 3 hours. It's fucking amazing. Takes place in 1926 up to about 1930. And it's all about the transition from silent movies to talking movies and how a lot of very famous, very popular actors who did silent movies never were able to make the transition. Their voice didn't work, memorizing lines didn't work. Just there's an entire scene where Margot Robbie's character is doing her first speaking role, and they're having massive problems with the mic because the mic, unlike today, the mic is stationary, and to move it would have taken half an hour. And she wasn't hitting her mark because she's not used to having to be exact, because there was no mic. There was no reason for her to be perfectly exact because there was nothing to pick up the sound. It was just all visual. And I just kept remembering all of my time being on sets, doing background work, because nobody understood how sensitive that mic is. And as I'm very fond of saying, there is no such thing as whispering on a set. Once they call for quiet, you can't take a deep breath, that whatever microphones are there aren't going to pick you up. It's amazing how powerful these microphones are, unlike the one that I have here that is dead. It's amazing how powerful these microphones are. They're incredible. Um, so it was a lot of that, and I was like flashing back to things, and my time on set. So it was very, very cool movie. But like I said, it's 3 hours. If you can't get comfortable in a theater for 3 hours, if for some reason you can't sit for that long, wait for it to come out on video. But I do recommend it if you have any sort of interest in old Hollywood. And like I said, Brad Pitt was amazing. The entire cast was incredible. It was a really good movie. And it was worth it. But Fableman. So the one that I skipped, turns out, thank you, Shuttle Punch Show, Connor's in it for a half a second. Don't blink, don't sneeze, don't go to the bathroom. Connor Trinneer is in Fableman. And now I'm kicking myself. It wouldn't have made a difference even if I had watched on Sunday morning, because we'd already bought the tickets for Babylon. So I don't think it would have made a difference if I had found out before we left for the movie. But I was really disappointed and kicking myself, because that would have just been a pleasant surprise. Now it will be a, oh my God, I need to sit and look and watch. And his character listed on IMDb, the character's listed as Phil Newhart. So I know this is animated, but a lot of times in these kind of animated movies, they make the characters look like the people that are voicing them. And we all know what Connor sounds like. And now we know the name is Phil. So just be on the lookout for somebody for 5 seconds named Phil. I will spend the entire movie doing that. But anyway, I mean, like I said, I was on the fence about it. Now I think I might have to go see it in the theaters. So, like I said before, don't forget, Shuttlebot Show we're still planning a live event for February. Mark and I are actually working on getting out the survey, because his ideal is to make this a fan event. What do you guys want to see at a convention? How long do you want it to be? Day wise, how long do you want it to be per day, hour wise, all these other things. Do you guys want to come to LA? I know I'm on Discord now, by the way. Kelly knows this. I am on Discord, NX7062 on Discord. Yes, that is always the way. Absolutely, Kelly. I am NX7062 on Discord. I joined Discord. I'm a patron of Shuttlepod Show. So the minute that I linked the two accounts together, bam, I was in the Shuttlepod Show chat, talking to people. And I already found out that there's somebody in the Midwest that would 120% go to a Shuttlepod Show event if they made it out to the Chicago area. So we got to put that on the list. But there's a question in there about whether you'd come to LA and why. If yes, awesome. If no, there's why. So be looking for that, because I'm sure we're going to be posting a link at some point when we finish it. It's just tough, obviously, to nail people down, when they're on vacation, and it's because they're on vacation. So, of course. Okay. So, hey, Catherine. I may have to look into the live event in California. It would be nice to get out of Chicagoland for a few days in February. Is this the Catherine? Oh my gosh. Hey. Hi. So nice of you to join us here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Love, 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 love your icon, your avatar, whatever you want to call it. That is so great. I love that picture. Welcome. See, look at that. Speak your name and you appear. Yes, Catherine, that would be great if you can come out to LA. I will tell you, my flight to LA was really relatively cheap compared to, I looked at a flight for Vegas and it was over $700. Okay. And I'm closer to Vegas than LA. And I'm going to LA in February, which is kind of like when people would probably want to leave this coast for the next coast. This coast for the West Coast. And it was so much cheaper. It was under $500, as opposed to, I want to go to Vegas in the middle of summer and you want to charge me $700 to get there. So go look, Catherine, because you might be able to find yourself a reasonable trip out there. And it would be great because, I mean, it's the inaugural Shuttlepod Show live event. It's promises, I think, to be awesome. Promises to be awesome. So please consider coming out. I can't wait. Um, I'm gonna be out there for a week. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't too bad. I fly American. I like flying American, and I'm glad that I set myself up so I can make flight changes because I might want to go out a little earlier than I planned. I'm actually going to be out there for the whole week. I'm going out. There might be something coming up the following weekend that I want to do. I don't know yet, but even so, I'm like I could see myself spending a week in LA just to spend a week in LA. So, Catherine would be great. I would love to meet you. Since I missed meeting you, Catherine and I just started talking on Discord the other day, and it turns out my work with Lambda Quadrant, I was the de facto MC for the newbie and solo meetup that happens every year the night before the convention kicks off. It's a great way for for convention newbies and solo travelers to make new friends, people that they can end up hanging out with for the week while they're there, or have, the veterans are all welcome. So if you're a newbie and you end up talking to a vet, they're going to tell you everything you need to know about how to manage the convention. And I was the one, I lost my voice standing on the steps at Bally's at this bar because there was no audio system, there was no mic, it was just me and my big mouth, yelling out to the crowd, hyping them up. Somebody was amazing and donated like 3 bins worth of Star Trek action figures. So in the box, most of them were in the box. I was just handing out. Catherine, did you at least show up in time to grab an action figure? Because I was giving them out to like the bitter end. I was absolutely giving them out to the bitter end. And something that I didn't tell anybody at the time because I was, yeah, it was amazing. Something I didn't tell any people at the time, and I almost lost my voice over this, but Dominic Keating and Anthony Montgomery were there. They weren't there to be there. They were there to have a drink. So I was on this side of the bar, and they're on the opposite side of the bar. And at one point, I'm doing my whole hosting thing, and I'm up there yapping, and I had Larry Nemechek, and I can never pronounce his last name, Dr. Trek, agreed to come out. We had prizes. So he was reading some trivia questions. So I'm introducing him, and we're standing up there. There's Dominic Keating all the way in the back of the room, going like this, like he can't hear me. So I just started yelling at him. What? The people in the back can't hear me. I'm like, ha ha ha, funny. Make me lose my voice. That's so cute. Yeah. So I didn't say anything while he was there because obviously I was trying to respect his privacy. They were just there for a quick drink. I don't know if anybody else saw him, but I went over and said hi, and then Dominic had to be like cute, real cute, because I don't have a mic. Now you're making me scream. It was fun though. It was great. They do it, Catherine, like I said. Oh, that's okay. Maybe something will happen this year. Don't beat yourself up. I know you needed those pictures because that's another thing that newbies may not know. Might as well do a quick convention 101 in case anybody else out there that's listening is a newbie. If the actors are signing in the vendor's room, they will have their own pictures to sign. If the actors are signing, because you have to buy an autograph ticket because they're signing for Creation, and Creation has sold you an autograph ticket and they're signing at a specific time, you have to bring something for them to sign. And of course, Creation is so kind as to offer you 8x10s for a price. So on top of buying the autograph ticket, you've got to go, your best bet is to go and grab an 8x10 off of there. I mean, the prices aren't horrible, but you got to go grab an 8x10 from the Creation table that's in the vendor's room. So yeah. So just so anybody knows, in the sound of my voice, if you're going to STLV and if they're in the vendor's room, you don't need to worry about it. If you have bought a Creation autograph ticket, because Creation has them signing at very specific set times, then make sure that hey, David Gregory, your camera is saving me tonight because my regular mic crapped out. So I was telling everybody the camera that you got for me is what everybody's hearing me over. So they do. They want all your money, which is totally why I was giving you all those tips on Discord, because there's definitely ways around giving Creation your money. The other thing you can do is, you could buy 8x10 somewhere else before you even get there. If you can find them cheaper online, but now you know. like I said, like Connor and Dominic, Anthony, except John Billingsley always signs for creation, but Connor, Dominic, and Anthony will always be in the vendor's room. They always have really cool 8x10s. One point, Dominic actually had his 8x10 from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, season 3, episode 12, Helpless. Yep. Also watch for the sales with no service fees. This week they are, I don't know if it might be over. I don't know yet. They were doing a 12 days of Christmas. It was 10% off. I don't know about the service fees, but I know that all the tickets were 10% off. But I'm hoping now that they're back at the Rio that they're going to do their thing with Groupons. They didn't do it last year, but I think that's because they were very limited. The space was smaller. They were limited on what they could sell. They didn't want to lose any money, so they everything was at full price. I'm hoping because they're back at the Rio, that means that they're going to switch back and they're going to do Groupon. So, anyway, but that's Catherine. You're here, so I actually have a show. If you want to scroll back through all of my shows, which I would love, but you don't have to. But I do actually have a Convention 101 YouTube video that I did that just hits like all the cool stuff, all my years of experience. Okay, Kelly. Show off Blair. What an episode. As you know, I did a Buffy rewatch. Yes, I do know that, which is also one of the reasons why I mentioned that. Yes, Blair, he actually had a character name. He did get turned into a vampire, and then Giles staked him in the end. And I'm pretty sure that guy that played the crazy vampire, that guy that played the crazy vampire has been on like everything. I'm sure he's been on some Star Trek somewhere. I don't remember the actor's name, but he's everywhere. All right, so this is actually the holiday show. You guys all got to see my holiday. This is my Star Trek holiday stuff. Now, I did ask people to send in stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of stuff. Oh, thank you, Catherine. I would love that. Thank you. I didn't get a lot of stuff, but I did get some people. Actually, this is what's really funny. Kelly sent me something that she said I could share. Somebody else sent me something that they didn't get, so they're going to buy for themselves. And then my friend Wendy sent me something that's not Star Trek. So this is just going to be really fun. So I'm just going to share this with you guys. Oh, wait, hold on. Go back to the beginning. All right. So this is from one of my viewers named Mars, who is also a Shuttle Pod show person. It's gone too fast. Okay. There we go. Pause. This is Mars. I have not seen like an entire sweatsuit that is Enterprise. I have an Enterprise sweat jacket like this that I bought. I got it. It was actually a holiday present a couple years ago. And it was 2018 because I wanted it for the cruise, but it was coming from China, and it took weeks to get there, and it missed me. I think it showed up at my house like 2 days after I left for the cruise. So I didn't have it for the cruise, but I will tell you that every convention, I wear it whenever I fly to any convention, or anything Star Trek related. I wear my NX-01 hat and I wear my sweat jacket. This looks actually nicer. I have to ask Mars to tell us where they're buying that from. So, but I just thought that was really cool. All right. This is Kelly. Kelly is here. I'm so excited. I know you said that about the Mars thing, but Kelly is here. This is Kelly's Enterprise collection that she has gotten over the years as gifts, and then she decided to finally put it on display and tell her children not to even look at them and not to even think about touching these beautiful in the box items. All those really cool Enterprise figures. Connor, who had theirs sitting? No, Dominic had his sitting at his table in Vegas. Dominic had Malcolm Reed. I don't have any of these. I'm not sure I want them. I haven't decided yet. I do like my Trip ornament, even though it doesn't look like him, which for me is like part of the joke, that it doesn't even look like him. And then he did sign the box of the one. And I actually, the other thing I have is I have one of the fan sets pins. Somebody gave me a Malcolm Reed fan set pin because I said Malcolm is my favorite. They are Mama's Toys only, 120%. Kelly, you got to tell me though. I do this in my Zoom meetings. I'm sitting here with my cursor, like you guys can see my cursor. Second shelf. What is that? It looks like a cast picture that's between the 2 action figures. Is that what it is? Like a cast photo or playing cards or something? Middle shelf. Isn't that nice? Middle shelf. I wish I can't see which action figures they are, but it's like if you're looking at it, it's the right action figure and the middle action figure. There's a cast thing sitting up, and I want to know if that's playing cards. It's a postcard. Oh, that's cool. Okay, this is quite the collection. Um, much admired. All right, and this is what my friend Wendy sent me because I was telling her I was doing this. I was telling her I was doing this tonight. She did not get any, they didn't exchange gifts. Just her granddaughter got gifts tonight. So, or got, I'm sorry, just her granddaughter got gifts for Christmas. But the dog obviously got something because the dog has a little baby Yoda. That is Charlie. He's a pit bull mix. I have met him. Charlie is my friend Wendy's daughter's dog. He is one of the sweetest dogs you will ever meet. I went with Wendy cross country and we stayed. We went from, she lives in Seattle. We drove from Seattle, Kentucky, which is where Lexi was living at the time. And Lexi actually at the time had 2 dogs, and Charlie was one of them. And he was one of the sweetest, nicest dogs you would ever want to meet. He was a big cuddle. I mean, I was sleeping on the couch. I decided to sleep on the couch. And I mean, I had to spend time with him and a black lab that was bigger than he was. And they both thought they were lap dogs, so it was interesting trying to sleep on the couch being surrounded by the 2 of them. So anyway, let's see, there we go. So that's what everybody shared. But yeah, Charlie's great. He's such a love bug. He's such a love bug. When I had a dog, when I had Anakin, did I get him? I got him a Wonder Woman. I say I don't know where Lasso is. I got him a Wonder Woman chew toy, which is probably Lasso. I'm probably should be glad Lasso's not here to hear me say Wonder Woman chew toy. I honestly would never get Anakin anything that I loved really because I was worried that he'd chew it and then I'd be upset. But then I ended up fostering and then eventually keeping a cat for a friend that somebody that I knew that was moving cross country. And when she gave me the cat, initially she knew what a Star Wars fan I was. So I have cat toys. I had a little Chewbacca mouse, a little Vader mouse, and a Stormtrooper mouse. And my cats completely eviscerated Chewie. And Vader and the Stormtrooper mouse end up showing up every now and then. One of the cats will find it, dump it in one of their water dishes or whatever. Let's see. Oh, we got our cat a Christmas stocking with cat treats and catnip, then cooked her a full chicken breast because she is a queen. Just like every cat is a queen, or in my case, kings, because I have all boy cats except for my one cat. I have one girl cat, and she is the ruler. She thinks she's the ruler of my bedroom. She has decided she doesn't want to come downstairs anymore. I think she doesn't like the boys so much, so she stays up. So she stays upstairs. But yeah, when my dog was alive, we used to always get him gifts for the holidays. My mom loved that dog. She used to get him. We always used to get him presents over the holidays, and for his birthday, he would always get ice cream. So yes, pets rule the roost. If you own pets, you know. So that's all anybody felt like sharing. I don't know if that means that you guys didn't get Star Trek themed gifts. This was literally these 2 things, and money to help me buy a new desk for my office. Those were the only things that I wanted. Of course, she deserves nothing less. And if you tried to give her anything less, you'd have a rebellion on your hands and you wouldn't be able to sleep at night. Anyway, so yeah, so I got everything I wanted because I got this. I did buy myself something that you'll see next week. I just had to save it because it's another shirt, so you'll see it next week. That's what I was hinting around about on Instagram. And yeah, so I got an Amazon gift card to help me buy a new desk. So I pretty much got everything I wanted. Oh, and I got my second Enterprise. I now have 2 of these babies, one for up here and one for downstairs. But unfortunately, the Shuttlepod Show Q&A was a very lovely holiday gift. It was non-denominational. I thought that was really sweet that they said non-denominational gift. I thought that was really sweet. Yeah, no, that was a great gift. That was an absolutely great gift. What's disappointing about this, I got this for myself. I found it on eBay for $13. $13. I was so excited. Um, and it was still in the box. And I took it out of the box because I want to play with it. I admit it. If I want another one, I will go get another one and leave it in the box. But I wanted to play with it because I want to be able to push the button and hear Archer. Let's see. I got the bride and I got some shirts that I like. Oh, that's awesome. That's okay, Nancy. That's okay. So but the problem is that if it has been sitting in the box since it was manufactured back in the early aughts, the batteries don't work. I mean, they do, but they don't because it does not sound anything like Captain Archer. So I ordered myself fresh batteries that for some reason aren't going to be here until the end of the week. So I'm hoping once I put brand new batteries in that puppy, I will hear Archer, and it's not that the box itself is so old that it's just not going to sound like Scott Bakula. But I'm hoping. Now, wouldn't that be a nice Christmas present from the Shuttle Pod show if they finally announced or non-denomination? See, now I'm doing it. Would it be nice if the Shuttle Pod show announced really soon that they got Bakula? That would be a nice non-denominational something for us. I don't see that happening, but yeah, it does. It sounds like Archer got put in a blender, or he's buried under like a million pillows, and he's trying to talk through like a ton of pillows. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Yeah, he sounds very muffled. So I'm hoping new batteries will fix it, and then I could just sit here next week and play with it. By the way, guys, guess what? And believe it or not, this was inspired by a Voyager episode that I happened to catch on Heroes and Icons. I actually know what I'm going to be talking about next week. Are you guys like in shock? I am starting off the new year by letting you all know now that I know what the theme to next week's episode is going to be. It's going to be and it's perfect because it's the first episode of the new year. It's going to be Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey. We're going to be talking about all the time travel episodes because there was a time travel episode of Voyager that I didn't know about, which is not surprising. That was not the one with Sarah Silverman. I knew about that one. But there's another one where Seven of Nine has to go back to keep Voyager from blowing up, and she goes back to right before Voyager launched, right when Captain Janeway took the helm. That's all I really know because, like I said, I was falling asleep. But I have decided that there is enough time travel episodes starting with the original series. So I want you guys to be, yes, timey-wimey indeed. Timey-wimey indeed. Kelly, one of these days you're going to have to tell me who your favorite doctor is because I'm going to assume that you have one. I'm terrible. You're British. I assume you have a favorite doctor. So you guys be thinking about it because I mean, we got TOS had City on the Edge of Forever and the one with Gary Seven and Terry and I almost said Terry. Terry Garr. Terry Garr that I don't remember the name of because we all know I suck with titles unless I really love the episode. And then I think there was a third. I think in episode wise, obviously we also have Star Trek 4, but episode wise, I think TOS had at least 3. Picard, TNG got a lot of time loops. Like they didn't, there was like yesterday's Enterprise, people came back. There were anomalies in their timelines, but the big time travel thing obviously was Generations, or not Generations. First Contact. The big time travel one was First Contact. Picard, on the other hand, spent an entire season in the past. Deep Space Nine. I loved what Deep Space Nine did. Deep Space Nine did a lot of. They also did a couple of time travel episodes, but I loved Trials and Tribulations because all they did was jump back along their own timeline. Like they didn't go any further back than TOS. And I thought that was really kind of cool that they didn't go anywhere funky. They're just like, we're just going to go back and visit the Tribbles. So that's probably Tomorrow is Yesterday. Thank you. Tomorrow is Yesterday. It's such a cool title. I should have remembered that. So I know that there was a lot of time travel in DS9, but in fact, I just Deep Space Nine. Just caught a Deep Space Nine one the other night. I fell asleep to it. Pluto TV, they have a Star Trek channel that all it plays is Deep Space Nine. For now, they could change that up. Oh, wait. I don't have a favorite doctor, but my husband is a huge fan. He loves David Tennant. On our first date, we met Colin Baker at a local convention, and he lied and said, I do not blame your husband for lying to Colin Baker, because I have a feeling Colin Baker is probably one of the doctors that doesn't have a huge following. So I am not going to get on your husband's case about that. The fact that he loves Tennant means that you can tell him I love him too, because Tennant is my doctor. But Tennant's my favorite. Let's see. Matt Smith is one of my least favorites. Sorry, in case anybody wants to know. I love Jodie Whittaker. I love that David Tennant is back. That is not a spoiler. That episode happened in October. That is not a spoiler. David Tennant is back as the Doctor. I don't care if he's only back for 5 minutes. I'm excited. And I'm also excited to see the direction and the new Doctors going. I always like to see the new Doctors. Except when Tennant left, I was upset. So anyway, so we got the Deep Space Nine time travel stuff. Voyager obviously did some time travel stuff. They did that whole thing where they got stuck in LA in the 90s, which I thought was pretty funny. But I like Sarah Silverman, so I thought that was kind of cool. And then of course, Enterprise could have done more time traveling, because all they kept talking about was its temporal Cold War for like the first season. They kind of, and I listen, my favorite show, and I will still argue that they really dropped the ball with the whole temporal Cold War thing. It was very disappointing. Carpenter Street. A lot of people liked Carpenter Street. I thought Carpenter Street was really good. The guy that was stealing people from the blood bank was actually in ER. That's how I knew that actor. I'm like, wait, he was that guy from ER. That was also the one that Jeffrey Dean Morgan did that I think like almost got him to quit acting. He hated being a Xindi. He hated that role. I think he hated the makeup. He wanted to quit acting after that. So Enterprise almost inadvertently ruined The Walking Dead without knowing it. Talk about time travel. So yeah, I just think that it would be fun to talk about some of our favorite time traveling episodes and how the hell we're supposed to keep it all straight. You know, and in a way, Regeneration, which is one of my favorite TNG, let's try this again. It's one of my favorite Enterprise episodes, but it has, yes, he did hate the makeup. Well, I mean, he was a Xindi insectoid. I don't blame him. I don't blame him in the least. But you're an actor. It's kind of what you signed up for. But I get it. But Regeneration links itself back to First Contact. And I always liked the fact that, you know, them finding the Borg in the Arctic, you know, and then people are like, well, how can a Borg be in the Arctic when we didn't meet the Borg until TNG? But TNG changed their own timeline with First Contact by doing the whole thing with the Borg in Bozeman, Montana. They changed the whole Borg thing. Zefram Cochrane mentioned it. I thought it was a great episode. And again, one of the things I always admired about Enterprise and how they could keep their timeline being a prequel. They met the Ferengi. Ferengi never identified themselves. They met the Borg. Borg never identified themselves. So even if somebody had read the captain's logs about what he had experienced, they wouldn't know, you know, we met these weird cybernetic things. Doesn't mean that you knew that they were the Borg. So, you know, same thing with the Ferengi. You met the Ferengi in TNG. Archer had no idea these were the Ferengi. They were just these weird aliens with you know, with big ears that tried to rob his ship and, you know, take his women, and, you know, that's all he knew of the Ferengi. So I always loved the way they were able to bring in characters like that and still make it so that it didn't mess up the future of Trek. They never physically saw the Romulans as well. Yeah, again, books aren't canon, but we all know in the books they did, or at least Trip did, because Trip's not dead. But yeah, see, exactly. It's just it's so great how they were able to write these stories with these characters that we knew, yet technically it wasn't spoiling anything from the shows that were in Enterprise's future. So I just thought that was cool. So yes, next week, get ready. Let me know anywhere on the interwebs you can find me. Hey, Mars. I don't get people who say Enterprise messes up canon. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't. Hey, Mars. I did show your gift. I don't know if you just popped into the chat, but I did show it off, and Kelly likes it. Kelly really likes it. And this is also true. People do like to complain, especially if it's a show that they don't like. Then they'll get really nitpicky. You know, like if people like us, like we love Enterprise. We all love Enterprise. So even if it did kind of bump up again, we're forgiving. But when people don't like a show, they will find any reason to complain about it. But no, there's no reason to say, there is absolutely no reason to say that the timeline got messed up. 110%, absolutely no reason. And I just realized I lost one of my bracelets, but that's okay because I still got this one on. I like it. Everybody wanted more Shran. Everybody wanted more Shran. There is nothing wrong with more Shran. If you read the novels, Catherine, there's a lot of Shran. He pops up just about everywhere, and his storyline is really, I find it incredibly interesting. So, all right. So next week we're going to be talking about Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey. That's the first thing. Second thing is, I hope beyond hope that War Dog is right, and my next gift will be here, so that this won't be happening. And I guess this is a good thing that producer Mark's not here, because this would drive him crazy. I had it set, and then I moved, and it fell down, and then it looked like this. And like I said, yep, they fleshed out the Andorians. My favorite thing is that they fleshed out the Klingons. That's absolutely 110% my favorite thing, is that they fleshed out the issue with the Klingons. And why they look different between TOS and even the movie. I mean, let's not forget that the first big Klingon change in appearance was the movie. It was the original motion picture. So, all right, guys, look, it is time to wrap things up. I hope everybody had a fantastic holiday weekend. I got surprised today. That's why I'm a little off today. I got surprised with I didn't have to work today. So found out after I got up and sat down at my desk, because I work from home. And then my boss was like, "Oh, by the way, we're not working today. Oh, by the way, you couldn't have told me before my alarm went off." So yeah. So everybody think about what your favorite time travel episode is. You can even go by series, your favorite time travel episode per series. And if Voyage Home is your favorite original series time travel, that is totally fair. That is although City on the Edge of Forever was fantastic. Good night, Robert. Thank you as always for coming and hanging out with us. So yeah, so get your list ready. Hopefully it'll be another Shuttle Pod Show after party, and maybe we'll even get the Shuttle Pod Show to drop by if they're all recovered from their New Year's celebrations. And thank you for keeping me company as everyone here is sleeping. Kelly, you can hang out with me anytime. We could talk more about whatever, about England swings as a pendulum do, or whatever comes up. I'm good, because I'm probably still going to be up for another little bit. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you. One Love Chat Pack 2, War Dog, got that in there. Everybody, absolutely, everybody have a great week. I can't believe I forgot to play my intro. See, that is how off my day has been. I forgot to play my intro, but you know what? Hey, hi, Kim. Bye, Kim. We're signing off. David Gregory, absolutely. Good night. Be well. Be kind. Everybody, I will catch you all next week. And until then, please don't forget to live long and prosper.
Hey, this is Connor Turner. You've been listening to the NX7062 podcast with Stephanie. Enjoy your evening.